The new Sonic Mega CD Locked On Volume 2 mod just dropped, and I want to talk about this one because it is one of the most polished Sonic mods to come out in a while, especially considering how long it is. Now, the backstory for this mod is interesting because I believe it comes directly from the Sonic CD game, and funny enough, the only reason girlfriend and boyfriend are in this world is to play sidekick to Sonic as he's trying to stop Dr. Robotnik. And as usual, these two were teleported to this universe just like in any other mod where they are basically sent to video game world. Now, those of you who are Sonic fans will probably recognize some of the background areas in this mod. The first one being Never Lake, and now this is significant because in the actual Sonic CD, Never Lake is actually where Little Planet appears above 1 month out of the year, meaning that any other time during the year, you just won't be able to see Little Planet. And this is important because Little Planet is where the time stones are actually held, and this is where Dr. Robotnik comes into play. Basically, Dr. Robotnik wants to control Little Planet because by doing so, he'll be able to control the time stones and in turn take over the world. Now, the funny thing here is I think a lot of people sleep on just how smart and how dangerous Dr. Robotnik is. And part of the reason for that is because usually he's portrayed as being a goofball, but this man actually came up with a way to keep Little Planet locked in place so that it couldn't get away. Dr. Robotnik literally changed Little Planet to a mountain that for whatever reason he goes out of his way to carve into the image of himself, and if that wasn't enough, he then goes and he covers their entire planet in a metallic shell. And now that he has the world stuck firmly in place, he basically went there so that he could scour the remains to see if he can find the actual time stones. And if that wasn't weird enough, apparently Little Planet has this weird temporal passage where people can basically invade the past of the planet itself. And once Dr. Robotnik figured this out, he went to the past and he filled that world with a bunch of robot transporters and also a bunch of metal Sonic holograms. The mod creators did a very good job of making specific animations to show that, and they also made songs that kind of revolve around the theme as well. And with that information, it makes more sense as to why Sonic is actually battling against Metal Sonic in this mod. But in this updated version of the mod, they also added an additional reason as to why Metal Sonic is here. Amy Rose was added to this mod, and while at first she's just having a friendly battle with boyfriend and girlfriend, later she's actually kidnapped by Metal Sonic. And for those of you that don't know, this actually tracks with Amy Rose's video game debut back in 1993 when the Sonic the Hedgehog CD game first came out, where she was actually a non-playable character who ended up being kidnapped by Metal Sonic. A fun fact here is that in the game, she's actually only 8 years old and her nickname was Rosie the Rascal. And this leads us where we actually get to see Sonic and boyfriend battling against Dr. Eggman in an attempt to save Amy. Now in the next scene here, we get to see Sonic in the tech world that Dr. Robotnik created, and the creators did a great job of showing how Metal Sonic gets dropped off on a speedway and is chasing Sonic down. Some of you may have noticed that the song in this part of the mod is actually called Speedway, and that is a direct reference to the original game because the level at this point in the game is actually called Stardust Speedway. And a few fun facts about this mod include that in the free play songs, there's actually an Easter egg from the original Sonic CD game. The first Easter egg is actually Majin Sonic, aka Test Screen Sonic, that pops up. The Sonic CD possessed a sound test mode for listening to the game's music, and if the player knew the proper code, they could actually access a creepy screen that is just filled with row after row of Majin Sonics. And it's also accompanied with the creepy laughter of Dr. Eggman. And even though this screen really freaked out a bunch of people, it's been confirmed that it wasn't actually meant to be scary. The second fun fact is that Batman Sonic also appears in this mod. This character also spawns from the Sonic CD sound test, and as his name suggests, he is heavily influenced by the Batman. And the last fact is that this is one of the few mods where girlfriend actually gets to sing a song by herself while boyfriend is actually with her. And I think that's an interesting distinction because usually if girlfriend is singing, it's because something terrible has happened to boyfriend, like in Hypno's Lullaby. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out this video on the screen here, subscribe today to become a member of the Orseofkorse, and we'll see you tomorrow with another video. Peace.